Can I make one tiny last point? Okay. Okay.
We have full news rate in about 5 minutes.
Okay. Look, I've served you some pretty thick broth tonight, and I don't want you to be totally depressed. So I want to tell you a story, kind of like the story I began this speech with. It's a wonderful book by James Clavell, who wrote these big pot boilers, Taipan, Shogun. He wrote a book that was mainly a memoir called King Rat, based on his experiences as a Japanese prisoner of war. It was made into a good film. And in the book, he relates, or one of the characters relates his experience as a British Air Force pilot who was shot down over what were then the Dutch East Indies, Indonesia today, during the Second World War. So he's shot down over some jungle in Japanese-occupied territory, but he's taken in by a friendly, very, very primitive, but friendly tribe. And so, of course, he's grateful for their hospitality, and he's brought to the hut of the chief of the tribe. And it's incredibly primitive, thatched roofs, no electricity, no running water, dirt floors. And there, in the middle of this hut, there's a toilet bowl. It's not connected to anything, it's just a porcelain toilet bowl in the middle of the hut. Okay? Doesn't want to say anything, doesn't want to offend the chief. But after, he's there for a while, he gets a bit friendlier and he says, "Chief, I'm just kind of curious, why do you have this toilet bowl there?" She says, "I don't know, it kind of just amuses me when, people are like, why is this toilet bowl there?" Now, why am I talking about this? You may wonder. A toilet is a very interesting thing. What you see is just a bowl, basically, on a stand. But a toilet is connected invisibly to pipes, which are connected to a sewage system, which is maintained by engineers and plumbers, which has to be then fed by reservoirs and has to be incorporated in some notions of hygiene, which actually express the highest values of Western civilization. Not long ago, I was in Dubai. You'll see there's a connection here. Okay. And in Dubai, they're building the tallest building in the world. It's incredible. It's twice the height of the Empire State Building. I think it's 2,600 or 2,800 feet high. And you go and you're like, wow, that's amazing. Look at the height of that building. And of course, there's tons of stuff in Dubai, these artificial islands, these indoor ski slopes, all in the desert. You think, oh, this is very impressive. But if you actually stop to think, you think, that building, that skyscraper, was designed by architects in Chicago, and it was planned and engineered in Frankfurt, and the guys who are actually up there on the scaffolding building it are from Bangladesh. What is the Dubai content in this very impressive skyscraper? 0. It's like a toilet bowl in the hut of the chieftain in the middle of the jungle in World War II era Indonesia. Now you go to Israel, okay, you look around, small country, you look at the irrigation, you say, it's green over there. Why is it green? Because Israelis made it green. There are trees on that hill. Why are there trees? Because Israelis planted it. Tel Aviv cityscape is completely changed from 25 years. Why is that? Because it's an Israeli capital, and Israeli investment, typically Israeli architects as well. You drive up the road to Herzliya, you go by these high-tech firms. It says Intel, Microsoft, and so on. But what's interesting about Intel and Microsoft isn't that these are American companies that are just putting headquarters in Israel because the taxes are low. I wish they were low. It's because they have to come to Israel to figure out how to make a better microprocessor and a better search engine. And so they come and find people in the Technion and at the Weizmann Institute and Hebrew University and so on. The point I'm making is that, if you will, Israel, the toilet, is connected to stuff underneath, and that is known as human capital. And that suggests a kind of vitality, a strength, a depth, a rootedness that exists nowhere else in the Middle East. That says to me that in 100 years' time, when my when my children are very old or their children are middle-aged, in 100 years' time, there will be this little country, Israel, founded on solid bedrock, and all of these kingdoms in the sand with their ferocity and their fanaticism and lunatic hatreds and lunatic ideas will be just swept away in the dust that is around them. Thank you very much.